Hi there, in this video we're going to talk about new features for Project for the Web. This is the January 2020 update. So on the January update blog, we see that there's two new features. First of all, there's something called the GCC that's here, and we have a new feature called the checklists. Well, for frequent viewers of my channel, we already know that checklists was previously noted. But now this feature is available for all users within Project for the Web. So even if you're not in the first wave of people that got the checklists, now you have them. So that means that I can show you the actual feature this time. But first, GCC. It might be a new acronym for you. It was for me. So GCC means it's the Government Community Cloud. And I have an official file here. And it is related to all United States, federal, state, local, and tribal governments. So if you're not part of any of these, then you can just skip ahead to the next section because it's not going to be something that's very interesting for you. But if you are one of these governmental, US governmental institutes, you'll be happy to know that you can use Project for the Web just like the rest of us. So let's dive into the new feature, checklists. I can now show you what that looks like in a project schedule. So navigating to the February 2020 update, I should really rename this to the January update. So the January 2020 update. So this is just a simple schedule. Miriam is assigned to it. I'm assigned to it. We have two tasks. We have a summary. And from the looks of it, you can immediately see that there is something new here. In the quick look, we see that there's two checklists. And if I click on the view checklists, I open up the side pane for that task. So I'm not just opening the checklist, but I'm opening everything from that task. I can do that on multiple ways. I can hover over a task and click on the eye icon. I can open it up through the Open Details pane, and I can right click on the task and select Open Details. So there's multiple ways on reaching that checklist. On the side pane on the right, you'll see that this is my first checklist and this is another checklist item. And as I add more values here, the number will increase both on the details pane as on the quick look menu. So let's do that right now. And you can just use it as we know and love from the Planner application. So you'll see this happening more and more where Planner and Project for the Web come close together. There's an upcoming feature mentioning labels. Well, labels is just a color schema for your project. And we have that in Planner as well. So now I have 4 items. We see that on the checklist here, as well as on the quick look menu bar. So if I select the first checklist and I click it as complete, we get a nice progress bar. We see that the checklist is 1/4 complete, and I can do that for this one as well. And have a look. I can move these well, they're not tasks, they're checklists items, right? So don't confuse them with something that you can add allocations to. These are just items within a task that you can check off, or you can have people check off, because everyone has access to this project if they're a member of this group, right? So this is the third item. And I can click on make this a new task. Well, what happens then? What are we expecting? I'm expecting to see it pop up underneath task 1 because it is related to task 1. Let's see it happen. Make this a new task. And it does pop up nicely underneath task 1. So that is a very good implementation. We want to keep those combined. And maybe this is something that grew out of proportion and you want to track that separately. Let's also see if this task is linked, and we can do that easily by clicking on the timeline and see if those are linked. Actually, they're not linked, and this third task doesn't yet have a duration. We can add that duration, obviously. Navigating back to the grid, we can give it maybe 2 days, and we can make these dependent on each other. And we'll make these dependent on each other as well. And looking back at the timeline, we now see a double dependency, which, well, isn't quite necessary. So we can just remove this one. So let's go back to the grid, and let's say that these two are not dependent anymore because we have a critical path running through these 3 values. So this looks good again. I'm happy with this new update. It gives you a clean way to get a checklist into your schedule. I am wondering though if we're starting to see project moving more to planner, when in actuality, for me personally, I would like to have a product that's more in line with Microsoft Project. So that's it for the January update. GCC, Government Community Cloud, as well as the checklist features now available for everyone in Project for the Web. Upcoming features, something to be excited about, is the priority field. Labels, as I mentioned, closely aligned to what we know and love from Planner. 25 different colors. I couldn't even name 25 different colors. But we got them in Planner, so we want them in Project for the Web. And something that is very exciting, guest users. And I'm wondering how they're going to incorporate that. Now, every month, Microsoft brings out new features to Project for the Web. To stay in touch with what's new in Project for the Web, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel and follow up on the playlist that's on screen right now. That's it for now. Hope to see you next time.